Jamaican youths, we are the best. A brighter future that a feel we interest. Time and skills we invest.
Get your vision, join the mission.
Hubert Humphrey once said, "The moral test of government is how that government treats those who are in the dawn of life and in the shadows of life." Marginalized in the dawn of life and lurking in the shadows of the Jamaican education system are those students who are not being advocated for, are the young people whose voices cannot be heard because they do not see the integrity and strength of a system they can run to for refuge. But Bobby Francis, as national president, will guarantee the start of something great, a revolution in advocacy. The National Secondary Students Council equips bright and talented young people with the opportunity to impact lives with advocacy at the forefront of what we do. Students' councils across Jamaica lack the zest to be great, the courage to advocate, and the will to empower. It is my aim to be given the privilege by the student electorate to serve as national president for the year 2019-2020, which can be done. As president for my local council for about 2 years, I have made a profound impact on how council and school life operates by bringing a high sense of professionalism to how we do business. That sense of professionalism, sophistication, and level of advocacy is what I bring to the NSSC's table of work to impact all the secondary high schools in Jamaica through my 6-point plan, of course, being 1, professional administration. Professional administration has been lacking in the councils across Jamaica. It's practical, ladies and gentlemen. In order to be treated professionally, we must administer ourselves professionally. Therefore, as president, I will establish the office of the president, providing that platform of professionalism for communique and executive flexibility. Then mandate that local councils in Jamaica follow suit. I will reintroduce the bi-monthly reports and submission of approved minutes, while through the office of the president, foster courtesy calls and some form of evaluation to promote accountability and strengthen service. 2, financial stability. Oh yes, it is the universal responsibility of all presidents to strategically put in place a management plan. Within that management plan is what we call the financial management plan. I hope to at least begin the reconstruction of how the NSSC does economics. It is about time the NSSC becomes a financially stable organization so we can impact lives the way we want to. And I plan to achieve that as president by actively working alongside the treasurer and the executive to implement positive fiscal programs to ensure this ship sails. Number 3, school-wide development. Now you see, the NSSC has been heard about, but not felt as a national council within the schools. I plan to launch a flagship program which will foster school-wide development. It is about time the NSSC takes up that mantle, indeed. Number 4, local councils empowerment. Proper governance leads to proper management. Now, we speak about local councils empowerment and we are asked, how will we empower every single high school across Jamaica? Is it possible? It is possible. By empowering the national executive, we have empowered those members to empower other members, which will in return empower other members, until a network of empowerment is established so profound, and every council whose light has dwindled now becomes enthused to join the circle of empowerment. It might sound easy. It will take a lot of work, but it is achievable. And the 2019-2020 executive will achieve it. Number 5, establishment of council database. I aim to establish a council database to foster each and every councillor. We sometimes look over the little man, who's actually the great man, the grassroots people who ensures that our president's engines are running, who ensures that our regional engines are running, which will ensure that our national ship keeps sailing. We need to ensure that these councillors feel a part of a national organization, one committed in making responsible students, one committed in making a difference. A council database establishes that feeling of membership, promotes loyalty to the NSSC, and boosts the communication process. Finally, membership enhancement fund. This will continue the decentralization of the activities of the council to provide that all-inclusive feeling so well sought after. It will allow for councillors to receive certification after that annual capacity building workshop and training, which gives councillors something more than just a badge. It gives them a national certification to be able to advocate legally within the school system for those marginalized young persons. It will also foster membership retention and promote the image of the council. It will be something we can add to our portfolios and travel with across the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Jamaica, a revolution of advocacy is on the horizon. Vote Bobby Francis for national president. See the advances of your chances with Francis so that we can experience this revolution in advocacy together. God bless Jamaica. Communication is the backbone of society, and the reason we see many young persons branching towards different aspects of their individuality which isn't really commendable is because they're not sensitized enough. If we launch a sensitization program within the schools pioneered by the councils, it would effectively reduce violence in schools. That is a very good question. Well, elections are really a game of probability. And I see the chances being very probable on my end because I have actively campaigned. I have a group of students behind me to make my entourage, and they are very supportive. All in all, I support and respect the decision of the student electorate. I would have known, though, that I have done a good job. Instead of administering suspensions, especially in the events of minor degrees of infraction, it would be more likely acceptable by the student populace if we branch over into a more restorative form of justice. Let's have the Students' Council come in and sit with the parents and sit with the administrators and do some mediating, something feasible, because suspension can be seen as punishment if the student does not understand. But when the student understands, it's discipline. So my executive would move forward in focusing on discipline, not punishment. Mediation and restorative justice would be the better way to go. As aforementioned, I bring professionalism, professional administration, financial stability, and advocacy like never before seen to the table of the nssc. It's about time we have some more interactive leadership. Indeed, that makes my value plus. Indeed. The nssc has had its priority in line in terms of focusing on advocacy. Sometimes we think about change, and change isn't what we should always strive for. Sometimes we should strive for development. If we develop on how we do advocacy and bring it to such a level where it is nationally accepted and felt within the schools, then our priority now, which is advocacy, should remain the same but should be developed upon.